So this first argument, man, it basically has
I'm
to
gonna include
do
my
with
yeah.
the like cosmology with like Big Bang um, ideas, and basically I'll set it up
Hey
first
yo,
and then
I
I'll
don't
kind
know.
of explain.
I honestly, by the way, don't know if the Big
Uh huh.
Bang actually happened or whatsoever. Like
Okay. Yeah.
these are all theories, you know what I'm saying?
Was
But I
meant
do
about
believe in
shield.
evolution. I
Oh
do believe in
snap!
evolution because when you look at human
Wow.
at the Roman times, they were much shorter than right now, you know. I feel like right now the humans have grown much bigger and larger compared to back then.
Right.
But I do believe evolution is a thing. I just don't believe in like everything that's happened in prehistoric times.
Right. I just invited you
Did you
so you
invite
can
me to
join
the game?
whenever.
You mean you
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
you believe in adaptation
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and maybe you can
in a
change the
sense,
word like the adaptation, evolution. It's pretty much the same
because
thing, adaptation and
I
evolution. Your body adapts to your environment.
Right.
I don't know. Is
So
it the same thing?
I can kind of explain that too. So I'll start with this argument first. It's called the kalam cosmological argument, and it basically starts kind of like this. I'll start it off with some premises, and it says everything that begins to exist has a cause. Premise two would be the universe began to exist, and then the conclusion number three would be therefore the universe has a cause. So then I just have to defend these premises to make sure we get to this conclusion, which this really isn't anything that's like even remotely detestable. There are some people that still believe that the universe is infinite and eternal, uh, as in like it never had a beginning. Um, but I don't think that's entirely true through our scientific ideas, and I could defend that through. So premise two, I would say when we're looking at things like, and this is how you said you were unsure about whether or not the Big Bang happened, and I think one way we can go about this um, is I can explain how entropy works. So there's a law within thermodynamics, a second law that says that the universe is running out of usable energy. So like if the universe is has always been here, so it's eternal, then the usable energy within the universe would have already ran out by now. But since it hasn't ran out, and basically what I mean by that is like the universe is going to die off. If we haven't ran out of energy yet, that means that it's not infinitely old. It means it had a finite beginning sometime in the past. It's kind of like an analogy you could compare it to your car. If you have an infinite amount of gas, you're never going to run out of gas. But if you tell someone that you have um, gas in your car and it's running out, like as in every time you drive you're running out, this is a finite amount of gas, right? So depending on what your gallons, how many gallons you can fit within your car, you're going to run out of energy in your car, run out of gas in your car. And it's the same thing about the universe. The universe is running out of energy, therefore we're concluding that it had a beginning in the finite past. But not even just that. This is also based on like observations of the universe that Hubble discovered, and even Einstein. Einstein's general theory of relativity was the one that basically confirmed that the universe had a beginning, and the number that they give today is 13.8 billion years old. So the universe began to exist 13.8 billion years ago, right? So this is where it gets really interesting. When Einstein found this discovery with his theory of general relativity, he even quoted by saying this was troubling um, or alarming, right? So it was kind of a really interesting discovery that we found, that these scientists found during these time frames. Because as I was saying, anything that begins to exist must have a cause. So if the universe began to exist as our science says, we now have to try to explain its existence. We can't just chop it up and say, oh, it just has always been here. So since that's the
Yeah,
case,
yeah.
we have to start looking at why it exists. And the simplest explanation, in short, would be something to the lines of this. Because the universe is made of space, time, and matter. So if space, time, and matter had a beginning, the cause of space, time, and matter can't be space, time, or matter, right? Because space, time, and matter didn't exist. So if space, time, and matter began, the cause of space must be something that is spaceless. The cause of time must be something that's
So
timeless.
and that's where the God comes in, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, but how do you exactly know that would be God? It could have been just
Sure,
it could be just
absolutely,
like a mysteriously an infinite power that is sourcing the entire universe. That just
absolutely, and
exists there. That just exists there for like it could be so many reasons that we don't even know, and then we just saying it's God just like that, with not enough evidence. It could
right.
be it,
So
it could be just it could be like something that we can't even comprehend, and
right,
we are just like a particle of the universe, and we all just exist by coincidence, and then there's no such thing as God. It's just something like a being that is just giving this universe this energy, or maybe I don't know. I know where you're getting from. I just like it could be anything, right? We just don't know. But I just what irritates me is that when people say it's just God, just like that, because of because of the imagination, and then like it's fine, you can think like that, but then now when you think about it, it's such a big religion, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people put their faiths on it, but and therefore you can't just say, okay, it's just because of that,
mm,
because of God, you just can't say God, it's just like that. We gotta
yeah.
have like
So
some sort of
and we're not just
we gotta
saying this
reveal
just
it.
because. We're basically saying the reason why we know this is God, or can at least conclude that this is God, is because of the
Yeah, yeah, but
characteristics that follow from these premises. So if I tell you
what do
something
you
that exists as a like when I was going over this first idea, the characteristics of this first cause, right, would have to be something by definition
but what is
that
God?
is
What is God to you though?
well, and that's what we're going to kind of get into because we're going to basically say
Okay.
this, and this is kind of we're basically looking at the characteristics of whatever this first cause would have been, and then we can look at how this could be explained as God, right? So that's why I was saying. So at first, we can conclude that this is a spaceless, timeless, non-material, and usually I use the word agent because, like you said, how do we know it's God? It could be a impersonal life force. It could be gravity, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Right. So
well, sorry to interrupt you.
are you good, man?
Did you watch Finn and Jake?
I don't think so.
Like when you look at Finn and Jake, there's like I don't know if it's the last episode or one of the last episode. There's like a entity that shows up. It's like a red.
Uh-huh.
It's a fucking red monster with like a triangle shaped head,
Right.
and basically, um, his existence is basically to like just like consume the world.
Mm.
And he's just basically pure energy, and that's just how I feel like that is like giving the world um the infinite power. It's just like this random entity that is
Yeah.
just eating universe, but at the same time, I don't know, like sourcing the universe or some shit like that.
Right. Yeah. Again, kind of, kind of the same
It's not.
description as you're trying to describe, as in like a spaceless, timeless, non-material
I,
being.
you know what? I can't really explain it to you, but you gotta
Yeah.
like watch it yourself, and then you can understand it really well. I don't know, like I haven't watched Finn and Jake, like like all the time. I just seen some of the clips, and that's why I got the idea from, like it cannot be a god. It can
Yeah.
just be an entity that is just like has like infinite power, and that is basically what like sourcing um that is just it's like the source of the universe power or some shit like that.
Right. Watching there. But yeah, basically the reasons why we can continue to conclude that this must be God, or at the very least you could say it's something like God, because we're gonna say so when we start thinking of spaceless, timeless. Oh, we got another squad. Alley-oop. Dang, I should have went right to cover.
Holy shit.
Dang. But yeah, so far that's just our only characteristics as a spaceless, timeless, non-material agent. But I think we can continue to take these ideas and really apply it to a being, or I could even say a personal being. And the reason why I think we could talk about that is, you know, obviously because we could say a beginning uh, is a cause with, or there you'd have to have a cause for beginning of something.
They're all following.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Bro, what the fuck?
They were following you. Or
Yeah, they were ready
I.
Still
for it.
wanted me dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But basically, if we continue to say that, how can a first event come to exist if the cause of that event exists changelessly and eternally? And basically, we can conclude that this first cause that is uncaused, so that's our next characteristic. It would have to be something that is uncaused, right? Because the first off, it's timeless. We would have to say it never had a beginning, so it's eternal. Um, and the ideas of like how can something exist without an effect, and this is where we get into like from philosophical ideas of like necessary beings and necessary things, things that aren't contingent, like the universe is a contingent thing. Uh, the only way I could really describe as like how you get out of this dilemma is to say that the universe beginning is a personal agent who freely chooses to create a universe in time. A lot of philosophers actually call this an agent causation. Because this agent is free, he can intimate new effects by freely bringing about conditions that were not previously present.
Oh,
So
so he just
finite,
wanted it. So he
yeah.
wanted to do that, like just because of his own wishes.
Well, it's kind of like this. So, like gravity, for example, the reason why we can conclude that it probably isn't gravity, gravity isn't a very good explanation, is I would also argue that gravity was something that began at the Big Bang. Um, but if we continue to look at some of these other ideas, um, if this being, this causal agent, if you want to call it that, um, it would have had to have make a like the reason why I think it's something personal and not like something that's a non-life, like a non-personal life force like we were describing like gravity or something to the line of gravity. It would have to be something personal because it takes a decision to go from a state of nothing to a state of something, right? So this being basically like we're saying freely chose to go from a state of something or a state of nothing to a state of something. And that's why we can continue to go down this line. We're now looking at a spaceless, timeless, non-material, uncaused, first cause, personal, powerful, so powerful, enabling to do, to create something out of nothing, and so again, personal, powerful, and then some type of agent, causal agent. And like, for example, another reason why we conclude that it probably isn't just some random force like gravity is that wouldn't cause anything to come into being still. So like, even if gravity were to exist, you would have to have something existing eternally with gravity, enabling gravity to be able to do anything, to be able to cause anything to do, right? So like, it still would leave a lot of things unexplained, and that's why we see it as a personal force in which it freely chose to create a universe, basically out of nothing.
I mean, I do agree with you that, as I already said from earlier, that I do
Yeah,
believe that God exists. I just don't believe that God is anything that resembles our religion, or not
I
our,
got you.
let's not my religion, let's just say the religion of humanity. I don't
Right?
believe God says, okay, you don't eat pork. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, who cares? Like, I don't believe that God says, okay, don't marry a girl that is not halal, or like, don't marry a girl that is slut. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why would God even give a shit about that? Like, we're just so small. Like, compared to God, when you think about it, we're just nothing. You're like atoms, right? We're like ants when you think
Right.
about it. So why would somebody even care about us? Like, do you care what ants are? Like, do you care about ants? Like, let's just say you could speak the language of ants. Would you still care about them? No,
Mm.
you wouldn't. You wouldn't still wouldn't give a shit because there's nothing that is resembling of you, like something that is close to you and an ant. So what is like
So that's interesting because
what is
the
so
difference
close? Yeah.
is I didn't create an ant, right? So like an ant would have, to my mind, I would say an ant, or at least and you described evolution also. At the very least, I didn't create the evolutionary process in which ants could come about, right? Uh, I don't know the evolutionary biology of the formation of ant-like creatures, but um, regardless of how that came to be, all I do know is this: is the difference is when we look at human beings and other life forms within the universe. I think there's something that we resemble with God very much, and this is a biblical idea, as you were mentioning a couple of biblical ideas also with the pork and stuff, and I can address that too. But basically, I would say we reflect God in our nature, in our being, in our very actions, as in like we are moral agents within the universe. So like when you're reading the Bible, one of the first things that the Bible claims is that we,
Are
not
created
just
in
not just man but woman too, we were created in the image of God. And a lot of people say, "Oh, this means God's physical and He created us physical." But that's not actually what it means at all. It means, because as we've continued to say, is God is a non-material being based on the cosmological and philosophical ideas that we've described. And this is exactly what the Bible says. The Bible says that no one has seen God. It describes God a lot as the wind. That's one of the Hebrew words it uses in the Old Testament, and it continues throughout the New Testament by saying um, God is not seen. Right? He's invisible, the invisible God, kind of like
But didn't you
gravity.
just but didn't you just said that humans are created by the image of God?
So, and this is what image means. This is what I was going to explain. So, image means like an image bearer, as in the way we act morally as creatures, and even you could even talk about our sentience, as in like how we are more advanced as a creature than the other creatures. Like
So wait a second. Wouldn't that imply that like humans are disgusting, right? Humans are fucking. They've all the sins of what they call it, greed, envy, and all that. Would that
mm,
also mean that God is also like that? He's greedy. He's prideful. He's nasty.
let's go
Like
behind us.
humans are awful when you think about it. Humans are the one of the most awful beings, and humans are also one of the most stupid being. Not stupid, like so greedy that they're willing to sacrifice their own humanity over
Oh, I
money.
agree. Oh crap, they got a airstrike.
So
No, I
I
agree.
don't believe like
But here's the
no, I mean
difference.
like
So God basically, the way you would word it within the biblical idea is God created us with the free will to choose to either a follow our conscience that was God given, or to go our own path. And this is exactly what the Bible says. This is actually the story of the Bible, that it says that we all, like sheep, have gone astray. We have went our own way instead of going, uh,
instead of following. And it is
God's way, which would be being a morally sufficient human being to other people and to God, by following these kind of ideas. Dang, I wish I was Bloodhound. You got one following you in there. I'm gonna join you. I'll do
oof. Help me real quick.
good. Down one. Get that thing out of here. Couple hills in.
Hey, yo.
He's hurting big time.
It's behind us. He's behind us.
I know that other one's gonna try to push me too. I'm surprised he hasn't, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Load this. I got you.
Hey, got him. Got him.
Should
Ooh,
be one
nice.
more.
Yeah, charge your shit. Yeah. Can you try to rest me?
I got you. Yeah, I don't know where that what's his face went. Crypto. I'm gonna push to see if he's trying to res too. That is trippy, dog. Running pretty low on ammo right now.
Oh, I
Oh,
hope he has purple shield.
damn, we got a new squad. Oh, that's the same one,
Yeah,
I think, actually.
I'm out for
For
the
real?
game.
Yeah, they dipped. I think they rezzed the guy I downed and they went that way, so.
You guys can chase him. I'm out. Game.
Yeah. Hey, I wish we could craft you back in. Dude, where are they jumping at? I hear the octane jump pad, but. Oh, there's the guy
I'll see
down.
him.
We'll take this guy out, try to take some ammo.
There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there, dude.
Yeah, he pushing on.
I hear someone behind us. What the fuck?
Is that behind you too?
He's low. He's low. He's cracked.
Oh, snap. Good
He's
stuff.
dead.
Woo. Yeah, where were we? We were talking about free will. So basically, that's the idea from since God has free will, God created us with free will also. So he created this standard of humanity within us, as in like, for example, I don't have to teach my son that it's wrong to murder, right? I don't have to teach him it's wrong to steal. These are things that are pretty well instilled within the human psyche. However, we all deny these things, and we want to follow our own way, right? So I would rather um, do what I like to do rather than do what my moral intuitions tell me to do.
Oh, hold on. So you're telling me that in God eyes we're basically like babies, but we have the let's just say how to say this. We all have the like we all have the ability or like so-called the opportunity to
Let me get us up
be
here.
the image of God, but we just can't because we are. Oh, you just got hit.
No, I just put a
We-
zip
We're we're
line down.
basically we're basically like spoiled brat who are not willing to listen to their parents. Do I get
Uh,
is this
yeah. I
is
mean, I
this
wouldn't say that God sees us as little kids. Um, but
well, I
I mean,
mean
if you want to
are we
take
not
the
are we not their
analogy,
kids? Are we not I always thought that the our religion think that how to say like we're like child of God or something like that.
so yeah, you could say it like that if you would like, but that's just an analogy way of like trying to describe the relationship between us and God, right? So like God gives us life, therefore we just have this awesome reverence for God and respect for God. Or I should say, at the very least, we should. But humans intend actually to do the opposite and want to follow our own
Hey,
way.
I'm moving in though. I'm moving in.
Let's get it. They should be low right now. One's right there.
Oof, that's a big one.
Dang, I'm out of out
Let's
of
take this
nades.
shit.
Let's get it.
Let's go this guy. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here.
Bet.
We have the high ground now.
Yep. One right there.
Fucking behind
Uh-oh.
us.
Crap.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess we'll just
I'm
go this
running.
way.
Oh,
That's
thank God this
crazy.
guy's shitty aim.
I'm locked down that way.
Hey, this guy's after me.
Oh, he's chasing you? Uh-oh.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, he's killing me. He's killing me. He's killing me. I'm dead. I'm dead. Fuck! I could not see him where he was coming from.
Dadgummit. No! Gosh!
What the fuck?
Two teams were keeping you stuck there.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't get through. I was dead
So
either way.
there were like two squad,
Yeah,
us and them, and two
yep,
of them were on the front and one of them was on behind. Like what the fuck, man?
right.